Today is Wednesday, January 31, 2024. Here are our levels to use to trade against in the E-minis today. They're relatively close together, so for a variety of reasons, I would be taking reduced position sizes. Right now, the pre-market, they're down at 488.91. They never recovered from that drop from yesterday, right after the market closed, and they've been hanging down here. I want to show you something in a minute, but if they do push up higher, you don't want to be caught in multiple short trades when levels are close together with big position sizes. Also, I mentioned the FOMC announcement at 2 p.m. Market will be whipping around most likely after that, so don't want to be in any trades, say after 1:30 p.m. or so. So I'm going to show you something in the. I'll just start it on right now. I'll show you in the pre-market, the 24-hour session here in the spiders at least. They've been hanging down here all night. Futures look like this, of course, too. And let me pull up a 60-minute chart, an hourly chart, and I put this trend line on here, just kind of eyeballing this. They've been riding this trend line for a while, since all the way back to January 22, so almost 9 days ago or so, bouncing off of it, and that's where they're at now. So when you look at this in a micro scale, like a 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute chart or so, they're kind of climbing this, and they really haven't invalidated this big breakup candle. On the 2-hour chart, it's more clear. If they start closing it below 488, something else is going on. I mean, this gives you a better visual of what's going on here. They're trying to climb this, and could push a lot higher today and break into new highs again. We have no idea. They could fall. If they fall and they start closing down here somewhere in hourly and 2-hour candles, then something else is going on, and they've gotten below this, and who knows. But these are the levels today. Don't have anything below 488.15. And again, the levels up here are pretty close together. So just an awareness to be careful in trades today. Back on the 1 minute chart, this is where we'll be at the end of the day when we circle back around to analyze any trades taken at these levels. Well, the market has closed. It is 15 minutes in front of 10 o'clock p.m. and interesting day, to say the least. You can see, just getting ahead of ourselves here a little bit, the FOMC announcement at 2 p.m. What happened after that? We'll talk about that a little bit later. But the spiders did hit one of our levels, the 488.15. They were under that. This 945 candle, they were 18, 20 cents or so under that candle. So the operating level is 488.10 for a short trade. When they came back up into it, they did. Of course, there was no way of knowing. They were kind of dripping lower, but they did come up and they hit it. So a short trade. Quickly pulled a base hit. Well, not quickly, but it kind of meandered down, and it got 4 points pretty easily and went lower, of course. And the hope was, or my thought was, this was a fake out, and they would bust through higher, and then we'd kind of treat these levels, if they hit them, for extra trades throughout the day. But they never did that. They kind of went to sleep and kind of slow until the 2 o'clock announcement, and then they whipped around as predicted. And I don't know if you recall, but the other day we talked about 488. This was the 2-hour chart. In this 488 level, I said if there were hourly or 2-hour closes underneath this level, then that big bullish, flaggish type of consolidation pattern would be off the table. So that's what happened. In fact, let's take a look at some larger time frames to see, because you can see this is 488 right here, and there's a lot of closes beneath here. So let's take a look at a couple other charts. Here is the 2-hour chart we looked at the other day, where you have this large breakup candle. This is kind of a breakout area, and this trend line they've been riding for a long time. And I said that if they came down and you started seeing closes under this area here, 488 is the exact number I put. I mentioned that something else was going on. So on this 2-hour chart, for sure, they did spike up one time. And on the hourly charts, the same way. They came all the way down into this 50-period moving average, but definitely closed below this area here, and the low of this breakup candle, and got way below the trend line. So something else is going on. I mean, in the big picture, it's still an uptrend. Let's take a look at the daily chart here. Trend line really isn't important anymore. So still above moving averages on this uptrend, but definitely a pretty big pullback that all started with the FOMC announcement. We'll just swing over to the 60-minute chart, 1-hour chart, just to see where they're at on this. So they closed above the 100-period moving average. But anyway, just interesting to to see this. This was the development of this would have played out to the north side, and obviously that did not happen. And once they started closing below 488 or so, they just fell apart. So back to the 1 minute chart, so you can see the entire day, other than the one short trade that happened right under here after the 945 candle. They closed below that and went back up, filled the order, and then fell away. So that was a base hit. Took a few minutes, took a little while for that one to develop, but really you should have been not involved in the market as it got close to 2 o'clock. I wasn't. I did watch this happen. Pretty interesting. It wouldn't have made any difference because it never hit any of our other levels, even if we decided to take trades and risk all that. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this week plays out. Let's take a look at the tracking log now. Just to bring this full circle, there's one base hit at 488.15, and you can just take a look at how any averages and profit and loss percentages have changed with the data put in today. So hope you found this information interesting, helpful. If you're so inclined, like this video and the others, make comments. I'd like to see what people's thoughts and feedback are on these videos. Thanks, and have a great day.